All right, let's talk about something we all know, that feeling of being stuck, in a loop of anxiety or frustration, maybe just a general feeling that something's off. The ancients actually had a specific word for this, fan nao, which we can translate as affliction. And today we're going to dig into a really old text, the Yogacara Bhumi Shastra, to find a surprisingly practical technique for dealing with this, well, universal human problem. So yeah, let's get right into it. So that really begs the question, right? Why? Why do we get so trapped by these things? Why do stress and worry have such an iron grip on us day after day? It feels like such a modern problem, doesn't it? But believe it or not, the answer we're going to look at today comes from thousands of years ago. Okay, so if we want to find a solution, we've got to get to the root of the problem first. And according to this ancient wisdom, the real issue isn't, what's actually happening to us. It's about a fundamental mistake in how we see reality itself. So the text has a name for this state of mind. It calls it the mark of the unenlightened. And what it means is, well, it's pretty fascinating. It says our suffering comes from one core failure. We just can't see that everything is impermanent. And because we miss that basic truth, we fall into this mental trap of constantly comparing ourselves to everyone else. You know the drill. Am I better than them? Am I worse? Are we equal? This constant nagging comparison, that's the engine that drives all our turmoil. All right, so if the problem is all about a flawed way of seeing things, then the solution has to be a way to fix our vision, right? And that's exactly what this text offers. It gives us a really powerful antidote, a specific mental practice to help us see the world and ourselves a whole lot more clearly. And here's the core idea, right from the source. It says, in all phenomena, there are 5 aspects to the practice of contemplating impermanence. Now, what that means is, this isn't just about kind of thinking, oh yeah, nothing lasts forever. No. This is a very structured practice. It's a method for looking at our experience through 5 totally distinct lenses. So naturally, the big question is, what exactly are those 5 aspects? So now we get to the what. What are we actually supposed to be looking for in our experience? To really get a handle on impermanence, we need to know what to spot. And the text breaks it down for us into 5 very specific, very observable characteristics that you can find in, well, everything. Okay, so here they are, the 5 lenses for seeing impermanence. First up, we have its impermanent nature. This just means that things are always decaying, always changing, literally moment to moment. Next, there's its non-constant nature. Think of this like an expiration date. Everything is bound by a limited lifespan. Then we've got its non-abiding nature, which is pretty straightforward. Eventually, everything just stops existing. Fourth is its unreliable nature. This one's about how things can be destroyed completely out of the blue, without any warning. And finally, there's the nature of decay. This one's subtle. It means that even while something is here, it's not a source of totally certain, unshakable peace. So really learning to see these 5 things clearly, that's the crucial first step. Okay, so now that we know what to look for, the obvious next question is, how? How do we actually practice this? Well, the text lays out a super clear path for us, a kind of journey that unfolds in 4 distinct stages. This whole journey is mapped out in 4 steps, or advancements. It all starts with stage 1, attaining the unattained. This is that initial spark, that aha moment when you first get a glimpse of things as they really are. From there, you move to stage 2, encountering the unencountered. This is where you put in the work to deepen that first insight. So it's not just some random fleeting thought. Stage 3 is realizing the unrealized. This is where it really clicks, where you achieve a stable, deep, and truly unshakable understanding. And the final stage, the payoff? It's called dwelling in present joy. This is the goal, to live with that profound sense of peace that comes from all that hard-won clarity. So what's the end game here? What's the ultimate payoff for all this practice? Well, it's nothing less than a complete transformation of your mind, a shift from being constantly tangled up in your troubles to a state of real wisdom and ease. And this table really lays out the difference, doesn't it? It's a stark contrast. On the one hand, you've got what the text calls the unenlightened mind. It just can't see impermanence, and because of that, it's always trapped in that cycle of judgment and mental chaos. But then, on the other hand, you have the wise mind. This mind is actively looking for and contemplating those 5 facets of impermanence we talked about, and the result is huge. You're free from that constant comparison game, and you get to live in a state of clarity and peace.
It's a total 180-degree shift in how you experience the world.
So when you boil it all down, it really comes back to this one single powerful idea. The key to freeing your mind from the grip of all that turmoil, it isn't about trying to change the world outside of you. It's about changing the way you see it, by finally recognizing its true, constantly changing, impermanent nature. And that brings us to one last thought, a question for you to take with you. Just take a look at your own life right now. What are the things you're holding on to as if they're going to last forever? Now, thinking about this isn't meant to be sad or morbid, not at all. It's actually a direct path to seeing reality just a little more clearly. And if this ancient wisdom is right, that's where we find a much deeper, much more lasting kind of peace.